Alright, section 7, blower. Alright, your engine maintenance manual number 252C, mile 567 engines, General Motors, electric motor division. Alright, description, section 7, blowers, description. The blower figure 7-1 with the pair with a helical with the 3 lobe with the rotors with the result with the closed fitting aluminum housing, the design processor with a large volume with the air, low pressure proportional engine speed with the cross-section view with the blower, the shown figure 7-3. 2 blowers with the 12 and 16 cylinders, 1 and 6 and 8 cylinders over the engine with the right bank of the engine pressure with the tubular steel with the steel shaft of the engine with each shaft, journal support with the rear end of the plate with the rear bearing with the front with the gear ends with the shaft with the serrated flange up with the serrated with the bores are pressed with the one with the serrated tubular shaft and with the steering serve as a bearing journal with the drive of the flange mount with a pair of the helical rotor gears. The thrust bearing included with the front of the end of the bearings of the blow rotor with the bearings of the pressure lubricated with the engine oil with the supply with the auxiliary generator with the driving housing oil supplied with the bearings and drilled passages at the end of the plates, both ends of the connection with the oil patch for the top center of the housing of the rotary gears are bath lubricated with the rotating oil with the oil lube maintained with the standing pipe, which is part of the oil blower oil drain. Oil seals are provided with the end of each plate, each rotor shaft to prevent the oil leak in the rotor housing. Gaskets are not used with the end plate with the blower housing, fine silk thread around with the housing end of the inside with the stud line together with thin coating with the gasket compound provide airtight seal, and then shift for the blower operation. Alright, blower driver. Each blower driver with the driven with the blower driver with the camshaft with the gear train flange with the serrated with the holder bolted with the driven drive gear. The coil shift having a flange end with the bolted with the rotor gear with the serrated with the extend with the out with the rotor shaft with the rotor shaft. The blower is in play with the serrated end with the quick oil shaft and serrated with the hub driving drive flange. Engine blower drive gears 8 and 16 cylinders are smaller than those of the 8, 6, and 12 cylinder engines. Consequently, the blower rotor speed is faster. Capacity proportional greater to 8 and 16 cylinders. See section 6 for additional information on engine gear train. 3. Engine air filter. Air is cleaned by entering the air blower, passing through the engine air filters, air intake, silencer, differential arrangement types. Of these assemblies are depending on the engine installation customer service. A representative of the air filter silencer resembles the figure 7.2 is very important. Air supply with the engine clean the minimum of the wear of the parts called the airborne abrasive particle with the prevent with the contamination of the engine. Therefore, whatever the type of the air filter should be used. Maintaining the operate with efficiency, cleanly information covering with the engine filters, given the maintenance over the 1706. Maintenance. Everything with the blowers is needed to rebuild. Should the return of the flagship for the blower rebuild, the information factory rebuild of number 301. Alright, the blower with the inspection recommended the blower is inspected with the intervals scheduled in the scheduled maintenance program of the blower bearing with become the worn enough with the rotor interference with aluminum dust with the will impede with the blower with the support housing in the airbox and the blower condition with the must be replaced at once. The leak of the blower oil seal will show excessive amount of the oil running down with the blower support oil into the air box, excessive oil on the rotors ends of the place with note. The air pressure should not be used in top test blower seals. With inspection of the blower rotors, a clean strip onto the crown radius of the high part of the loops with the running of the entire length of the long lobes may be seen with the same rotor with the strip applied with the flat and be axle in the hand. And it shows the front of the rotor shaft with the rotors. Quiz shaft. Working condition form the housing of the bore is hand working operation done with the match with the parts of the rotor with the such close clearance with the width of the strip will vary with a different rotor with the strip of the lobes. Closest point with the rotor contact with airflow is usually cleaner with the lobe area with the scratches may appear with the strip due to the dirt particle finding with the wave with the blower with generally with no sequence or not consequence. There are no consequences. Accordingly, with the clean strip of the evidence scratches on the there should be not interpreted indication rotor to the rotor housing contact 703. Hard upon inspection for the current design of the engine with the blower with noted with the sum of the parts, although similar to previously used parts are the lighter weight blower housing in place with the rotor loops with the tightened with the cast iron rear and plate with the bearing housing and bearing assembly with the pin replaced with an integral one piece aluminum bearing cast iron housing rebush. However, the blowers are rebuilt with a factory. 3. Blower removal. The general procedure is followed with the removal of the oil separated with the blower, with the remove of the blower loop, oil supply with the drain lines, apply with a blank flange, otherwise covering opening, remove the air filter element housing blower adapter is used if used. Remove the stud cap screw securing with the blower support with a camshaft driver housing with a special wrench. Remove the hard to reach bottom nuts. Slide the blower straight back with the engine until the spine is shaft. The clearance of the spine drive of the blower and drive gear. F. When with the aid of the chain hoist equally safe with the meaning, with it carefully raise and remove the blower with the from its supports. 4. Installing the blower. Install the blower reverse procedure outlined in item 3. Grease the blower with the blower support gasket, and blower can be removed in place without moving the tearing the gasket. Line up the splaying device and slide the blower straight into position. Alright, blower changeover. Blowers using the 567 engine will similar with the blowers using the 567 engine series engine. Blowers using the same bank with the mustard exchange with the 567A, B, and C without alteration change with the 567 the cast or fabricated the engine blower with the same bank of the 567A, 567B, 567C engine. The driver coil shaft must be chained with the inside blower gear with the outside gear with the Visa 567A, 567E, 567C, and 567 engine blower. Installer of the blower same with wide mounting base flange inward of the engine. To chain with the 567 blower with the same with the 567 C, B, and A engine vice versa. Remove the blower and cover the coil shaft. Cover the opposite gear from the coil shaft. Drill and ream 2 drill dowel holes in the gear opposite with the original coil shaft location dowel coil shaft of the gear. Place gear cover for the opposite gear with the replace the blower and cover the nuts torque values up to 35 to 40 pounds. And then goes into specifications. And it goes into section 8 lubricating oil system. Testing.